Hi everyone, my name's Lizzie, I'm one of the Vitality Performance Champions. For today's Stay Healthy at Home campaign, I'm going to be showing you one of my all-time favourite recipes, a Thai red curry which uses loads and loads of fresh ingredients and has a ton of flavour. It's also really versatile. I've used chicken today, but it works really well with prawns or with tofu or butternut squash as a veggie option. Make sure that you follow all of Vitality's social media channels to stay up to date with more of our top tips for staying healthy at home. So all we're going to do to start with is just put some vegetables in and just fry those off a little bit. So I've got some mushrooms, I've got some peppers, and I've got an onion as well. And you can kind of choose whichever vegetables you want, whatever you want as the base of your curry. If you've got any fresh greens and things, we'll put those in at the end, so save those for the end. But things like mushrooms, peppers and onions, we need to fry those up a little bit to start with. So I've got my pan on a really high heat. I'm going to put the mushrooms in first just so they get a little bit of colour on them. Probably give them about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to add the peppers and the onions and just cook everything on a kind of mid to high heat for 5 to 10 minutes just till everything softens up and gets a little bit of colour on it. So the second step is going to be blending some ingredients together into a paste. And you can see the ingredients that I've got here. So we're going to start off with a couple of these roasted red peppers. You can get these from supermarkets. You can probably make them yourself, but that seems like a lot more effort. So they're really good just in a jar. So we're going to put a couple of those in. We are going to add a good squirt of tomato puree. We're going to grab some lemongrass and put that in. This stuff is amazing. If you break one of them in half and give it a sniff, it's like lemon sherbet. It's absolutely amazing. We're going to put a chilli in. You can add a couple in depending on how hot you want it. A good sized piece of ginger. Just cut any of the kind of gnarly bits off, but the skin can go in, that's fine. We're going to put a couple of cloves of garlic in. We're going to put in a big bunch of coriander. We are going to put in some of these kaffir lime leaves. You can get these from most supermarkets. What I do is I tend to buy loads when I can find them and just stick them in the freezer, and they're absolutely fine to then put into recipes like this from frozen. So they're a kind of secret ingredient. I think they make a really big difference to this recipe. And you can usually get them in supermarkets, but once you spot them, buy a good stash of them and stick them in the freezer because they'll last for ages. And then in terms of the liquid that's going in, we are going to add some soy sauce, we are going to put some sesame oil in, and we are going to put a little splash of fish sauce in as well, and a good glug of olive oil too. So we're going to blend all those up to create a paste, and that's going to be the kind of basis for our Thai flavour for this curry. Okay, so the mushrooms, the peppers and the onions have been cooked off for about 10-15 minutes, and now I'm going to blend up all those ingredients into a paste. My blender's not very big, so I couldn't fit the coriander in, so I'm going to blend it first and then stick that in after all of this is done. So that's our paste done. It smells absolutely amazing. So much fresh stuff in there. And all we're going to do now is just add this to the pan and just cook it off for a bit. Just going to add this paste to the pan. Just stir it round. Just on a low or medium heat, just let that cook off a bit. Obviously there's raw ginger and raw garlic in there, so we just need to cook it off for a couple of minutes before we add the final ingredient, which is our coconut milk. Okay, so I've cooked that off for about 5-10 minutes. I'm now going to just add in the coconut milk and just stir that through. You could use reduced fat coconut milk if you want. So the final parts of the curry you can get a little bit creative with. Add some kind of green vegetables. I would usually go with sugar snap peas. But you'll see here that I've put some mange tout in because I couldn't find sugar snap peas in the supermarkets when I last went. I've also put some chicken in, up to you whether or not you put meat in. It also works really, really well with prawns, this recipe. And of course you could make this completely vegetarian by using tofu, or you could mix in some butternut squash or some sweet potato as well. So loads and loads of different options for kind of making a variation on this curry. And all I'm going to do to finish it off is just sprinkle some fresh coriander on the top. And then it's good to go. Boil up some rice or use some packet rice, and it's a really, really great, healthy, fresh ingredient curry for you and your family. Enjoy!